To the podium today is Dr. Mike Stone.
It was a big shock when I heard that Joe had died, because I was used to phone calls from him quite frequently. He would call me at any time, usually when he knew I would be eating, because I eat a lot. And then he'd have a question, and the question would be very simple. Hey, Mike, what do you think about this new drug? You see, the reason I got these phone calls often about this new drug is because Joe knew very little about drugs. He was a psychiatrist who believed in treatment, which for him meant talking to the patient, talking to the family, talking to the manager, the girlfriend, the mistress, whoever he felt should be talked to, because the only way he felt that this person would get well is clean up the stuff around this person, because that, from his point of view again, was the common denominator of why people went out again, because they went back and they jumped back in the pool and they got wet. So his job, and he told me, was to clean up, empty the pool. As I said, he knew very little about medications, which was lucky for me because he needed me. So when he came to the care unit and I was the medical director there, he would leave the patients to me and he'd go off to Europe somewhere, or, I mean, you name it. He went off all over. And the great thing, I got a phone call at 8 o'clock at night. You're getting this man. He's not going to be a problem. He's just a Saudi Arabian prince worth 20 billion, and he's using 20 grams of cocaine up his nose. So, he will have a few bodyguards. He told me 16. And he has permission from the hospital to have them spaced around the house. That type of thing. And there's some, somewhat famous people here. But that was pretty typical. He would call me from Europe and says, we got this, the vice president or the president of this monstrous multi-billion company coming in. Look after him till I can get there. So anyway, so I was the medical director of the hospital, and we had 106 patients at all times for year after year. Just like with this pandemic, they were on gurneys waiting for the next person to leave. And of course, I and my team were looking after everybody, including Joe's people. I don't know how much you know that Joe treated people from a distance because he was all over the place. He left me with a lot of interesting patients. So I taught him how to medicate people, and he taught me how to talk to people. And the way to talk to them, he was very clear. Say nothing. Listen. My wife's been telling me that now for 62 years, and I'm having trouble with it. Anyway, thank you very much. Obviously, I miss him. Obviously, we all miss him. I remember the positives. I don't really remember negatives, except the phone call from Europe and Germany saying, I just gave a great lecture. Oh, by the way, how are those two people doing? And I would say, that's what I would say.
I do remember as a young teen and a young single hearing my dad manage the world from the bedroom on a phone. It was astounding. So what Dr. Mike talks about is true.